Episode 244, Reclaiming Your Energy with Mindy Neal.
Welcome to Latter-day Life Coaches, the podcast where each episode is a conversation between me, Heather Rackham, and one of my amazing coach colleagues. Each coach here is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and a highly trained, experienced life coach making a great impact in the lives of their clients. And together, we have one main goal, helping you live your best life no matter what. You ready for this conversation with a coach? Here we go.
In this powerful and practical conversation, Heather welcomes returning guest coach Mindy Neal to discuss a hidden epidemic among high-functioning women, particularly those in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, chronic fatigue. But this episode goes far beyond sleep and supplements. Mindy unpacks the emotional, mental, and relational causes of exhaustion that often go undetected: people-pleasing, emotional caretaking, perfectionism, worry, and ruminating. With vulnerability and spiritual insight, Mindy shares how her personal battle with chronic Lyme disease taught her to stop managing time and start managing energy. She outlines a radical and deeply faithful approach to living from divine power, not depletion. If you're tired, spiritually disconnected, or emotionally burned out, this conversation offers clarity, compassion, and tangible tools for lasting renewal. Please enjoy.
Hey folks, welcome to the podcast today. I have Coach Mindy Neal with me. Hey Mindy.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good. Mindy and I, we finally had to put the brakes on chit-chatting because there's work to be done occasionally, right? Anyway, Mindy has been on before, but Mindy, can you give us an introduction? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Mindy Neal. I am a Master Certified Life and Relationship Coach. I absolutely love coaching, and I focus on a lot of different areas. And right now, I'm really focused on wellness coaching. So coaching women, moms who are just exhausted, and they're barely functioning in their lives, and they don't feel like themselves anymore. That's who I'm really focusing on, helping them get back to total vitality and really like having that joy that God wants for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there a mom who is not exhausted?
I'm guessing no. The problem is most of them think it's normal.
Yeah.
And then it's like, this is just part of life. Well, of course I'm tired, and it's not even a problem because it's just life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to say, actually, that's not true. It's super important to prioritize your energy, because when you're tired, you're not patient with your family. You don't show up as your best self. You can't hear the spirit or the promptings. You're not following your life, like your divine mission. There's so many things that your fatigue affects. So to think it's just like, yeah, this is just how life is, I'm just going to be tired, I think we really setting ourselves up for disaster there.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think it's kind of sad that, like, in General Conference, we've never heard you need to prioritize your energy because it affects all of the things. It makes everything else harder. But if you're not focused on it and prioritizing it, yes, I agree. I think almost all moms are tired.
Yeah, I think so. And I do think that some people are more prone to just, well, let's just carry on and try to like keep going. And I think maybe we're trending to get a little bit better at listening to that. I don't know. Like, I think about my mom who just like didn't ever even listen to any of her own body cues. I don't think she still does. Like, it's just march on, just complete all the things, get it all done, and do it all. But hopefully we're getting a little bit more, I don't know, kinder to ourselves, because I do think it's kind. I think it's kind to listen.
Oh, for sure. And I agree. I think some people are. Like, this is a different group of women, right? There's the group that they never prioritize themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're so good about giving their kids healthy food, and then they survive on crackers and Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're so good about running their kids to all their activities, but they don't take time to have a 20-minute walk, right? There are those women who are just so busy prioritizing all their loved ones that they never prioritize themselves. But then I think there's this other group who have been listening. They know it's important, so they are prioritizing some of the physical things, right? Like they're eating better, they're exercising, they're sleeping, and they're still exhausted because they don't realize there's this whole other area of things that cause fatigue that aren't physical at all. So I do meet a lot of women. They're like, Mindy, I'm doing all the things. I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And I'm like, I know, but what you don't understand is all the things that are depleting your energy that you've never even looked at.
Mm-hmm. I'm really glad that you kind of like itemize that out, like to separate those, because I think that does give us a better idea of what we're talking about today and kind of can be like, oh, there's a difference, right? Like there's a difference between this and that. So, okay, why do you think then that so many like high functioning members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are experiencing chronic fatigue? Because I'm assuming you are seeing a lot of that in our particular group of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of what we just said. There's the group that they're trying so hard to be good, right? Good wives, good moms, good members of the ward, good people in our community, and they're doing all these good things. But they don't realize how many of the way they're doing all those things are depleting them, like just sucking the life force right out of them. So in order to do good, we're giving up our energy.
Okay. So like in what ways are we doing that? What are the things that are draining us of those things that we don't recognize?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a ton. I can't obviously, I mean, we could talk all day. I could give you all of them. So I'll just give you like the top maybe 5 that I see most common across the board with LDS women. So I'd say the first one is people pleasing. So this is essentially people pleasing is trying to control what other people think and what other people feel, which by the way is impossible. So,
and when you say that, a lot of people are going to reject that. They're like, no, I'm not. I'm not trying to do that. And when you actually come to realize that, that's a pretty big aha moment.
Yeah. I mean, controlling things you cannot control is exhausting.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is trying to control what people think and feel is like, we're so worried about what someone's going to think about us. Like, oh, they're going to think I'm rude. They're going to think I'm selfish. They're going to think I'm whatever. It's like, we're trying to control what they think and we behave to try to control that, to make them think what we want them to think about us.
And the reality is you're actually, in their mind, I shouldn't say the reality, the opposite of that really is that they think they're doing it to be kind to the other people.
Well, that's right. The part where we try to control their feelings. We don't want to make them feel bad.
Yeah.
We don't want them to feel rejected. We don't want them to feel whatever again. So we modify the way we show up to try to control how they feel, what they think and how they feel. That's what people pleasing is. And it is exhausting because you can't do it. Like you literally can't ever do it. So you're trying and just depleting your energy.
Okay. So for sure, that's one of them. People pleasing.
Yes, people pleasing. Number 2, I would say emotional caretaking. This is when we're like, husband is really stressed about work and that's now our problem. My teenager is really struggling and that's now my problem. We're trying to, again, it is a form of like trying to control everyone else's feelings because we love them, because we care. And so it comes from this really good place. But again, it's exhausting. You can't manage their emotions for them. You can be there for them and you can support them, but that's not the same thing. And that's not exhausting. It's the taking on responsibility for all of their emotions that is so exhausting, right? Because think of like all the emotions we have as humans, and now you're adding on all your husbands and each one of your kids, and you're just like piling on this mountain of emotions, and they're not your responsibility.
Yeah. That's a really hard one for moms because once again, we don't want our kids to, or people that we love to experience quote unquote negative emotions. So like we would rather experience it ourselves. We're really good at saying, if I could take this from you, I would. And I do think that we do mean that. Like we would love to be able to.
Oh yeah. Watching my teenagers, like teenagers today, it's so hard.
Yeah.
And when I see them in pain, I'm like, oh, if I could take this, I really would. And I would be happy to do so. Here's the secret that you and I both know that probably our listeners don't. We're doing this because we're not managing our own emotions. It's that heartbreak, right, that I want to avoid. And so then I try to fix it for my kids so that I can feel better. So I don't feel anxious about what they're going through, or I don't feel heartbreak about what they're going through. But the secret there is to start managing your own emotions instead of theirs. because that we can do without exhausting ourselves. If you're just willing to feel heartbroken, that's not exhausting. It's trying to fix everyone else's things that is
Right.
exhausting.
Right. And that when we learn to do that, that is true compassion. Like that is true mourning with someone who's mourning, or right? Like that is sitting with somebody. And
Yes.
it's such a gift that we can offer. I think our kids need that more from us rather than the trying to manage it all for them, right? Like,
Well, and as far as energy goes, think about this. If you sit next to your teenager who's struggling and what you feel is love, that's actually energizing. If
mhm,
what you feel is anxiety, that's draining.
right.
And you can be there and sit with them with like all the love in the world. You don't have to feel anxious. You don't have to feel worried. You don't have to try to control it all for them. And you don't have to deplete your energy.
Yeah,
And the secret is you're going to actually be showing up as a better mom.
for sure. And I love that you described it that way, because for a lot of us, I don't know that we recognize that energy is that's something that not only you're experiencing, but somebody like that's an energy that's being put out, let out into the world, right? Other people experience our energy. And if we want to control something, that's what we get to control.
Yeah.
And that makes it so the experience for everybody is different.
The effect you have on your loved ones is far greater because if what they feel coming from you is love and calm and peace and joy, that's going to help them way more than you trying to get in there and fix
Yeah.
all their stuff, whether it's fixing the situation or fixing their emotions or whatever.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
a hard one. It's a hard one to learn, but it's very valuable.
But it's life changing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, number 3, I'm going to call this perfectionism disguised as righteousness.
I'm laughing because, oh yeah, like that's a
Okay.
fun one. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm an Enneagram 1. I don't
Mhm.
know if our listeners know the Enneagram, but that means my number one motivation in life is to be good.
Mhm.
So I spent my whole life in this one, like trying to be good, trying to be perfect, trying to do everything right, trying to check off every commandment, make sure I'm doing all the right things.
Mhm.
And the reason I say it's perfectionism disguised as righteousness is it's because it's fear-based. It's fear-based performance rather than recognizing your inherent divine worth and knowing that you're lovable and that God loves you and you don't have to be perfect, and that's why there's a savior. Like it's different. We are taught to strive to be like the savior. That's not what I'm talking about because this comes from fear, not faith.
Yeah. It's do this or else. If I don't do this,
Mhm.
this is going to happen.
Yeah. Or God will be disappointed in
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Or it means I'm not lovable, or I won't make it to the celestial kingdom, or it's very fear based.
Mhm. Mhm.
So again, it's disguised as righteousness. It's doing all the things. But the reason it's so exhausting is humans aren't made to be perfect, right? That's why I said that's why there's a
Well,
savior.
fear in general is exhausting.
Yeah, fear, totally. You're trying to do more than you're capable of.
Yeah.
If you don't meet your own ridiculous standards, then there's usually some sort of beat down, right? Like you negative self-talk and all that is also exhausting. So you're really truly depleting your energy on multiple fronts with this one.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, fear puts you on high alert, right? Trying to keep yourself safe. And so, I mean, even if you took yourself out of a emotional situation and put yourself in an actual situation where it's physically fearful, you can imagine how that feels, right? And emotionally, if it's an emotional situation, it's exactly the same. Your body is doing the same thing, but
And your
it's
body is
exhausting.
only designed to do that for a short term,
Right.
right? When you're in that fight or flight, it's to get away from the tiger. It's not to be there all day, every day,
Yeah,
which is where we're putting our bodies when we do this
mhm,
kind of thing.
for sure.
Okay, number 4, worrying about our kids. And this is very similar. We're back into fear. We're not in faith. And that constant worry, that constant emotional, it's a mental and emotional toll, right? Like number 5, I'll just tell you now, is ruminating, which worry can sometimes also be ruminating. It's that
Yes.
mental overload, constantly spinning, spinning, spinning in your head. And then all of that emotion it creates, all of the fear and the worry, it takes a serious toll on your energy, on your life force, on your vitality. And here's what's crazy. Because I've coached a lot of women on this, and I'm like, what would it be like to just not worry? And what I see come up so often is I would feel guilty. Like that means I don't love my kids.
Yes.
They're
Worry is
going through this,
disguised as love so many times,
yeah,
right?
they're going through this horrible thing. If I don't worry, that means I don't love them. I would be a terrible mother.
Hmm.
That's not true.
Yeah.
So then number 5, I said, is ruminating. Sometimes that's worrying, but sometimes it's running through that conversation that you had, wondering if you could have done it differently, going over and over and over, like trying to solve problems, thinking about your to-do list all day long. The mental toll that ruminating takes. And again, I just see this like across the board. All the women are doing it all day long, and they don't even realize it because they've been doing it this way forever.
Can I share with you something I've learned about myself recently about ruminating?
Yeah.
Is because I'm good at that, like constant, like something's got to be going on in my brain. And I've come to realize, and it's just been in the last couple of weeks that I've identified why I do that. Well, there's many reasons, I'm sure, but one of them is I think that if I'm just sitting there trying to be present in the moment, if my brain's not going, I think I'm wasting time.
Yeah. You're not being productive.
I'm not being productive. And that's been a really good thing for me to be like, oh, that's why I'm doing this. And I don't like, and I'm realizing that I'm actually less productive because I'm not able to focus on the things that I want to focus on in the moment. And if I would just say like, okay, at 11 o'clock, this is when I'm going to actually think about this item on my to-do list rather than like letting it spin around all day long but it's been really good for me to label and for me to say, oh, I think I'm not being productive if I don't let my mind run right now. And actually that's not true.
Yeah. And this comes back to perfectionism disguised as
Yeah.
righteousness. That's the trying to prove our worth all the time by doing, 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 doing. We have to be
Yeah.
productive every single second of every single day because that proves that we're enough.
Yeah.
But again, inherent worth.
Yeah.
That's not
And I
true.
feel like I've pulled back the layers on that perfectionism. Like I used
Yeah.
to feel like I was pretty high on that perfectionistic hamster wheel. Um, and I feel like I've pulled back a lot of layers of that, but this has been a layer that I was like, oh, this is I think kind of one of those final pieces for me. I'm hoping
Yeah.
final pieces
Oh,
for
and
me.
my brain is the exact same. If I'm sitting at the doctor's office or I'm in a
Yeah.
line, like my brain immediately wants to be productive, and it does too. It thinks ruminating is like super useful. It's a
Yeah.
useful way to spend my time, and it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to share in case anybody needs to
So let me tell
experience
you,
that
these
same
these 5
enlightenment.
things we just went over. The reason I want to talk about this is because there's these group of women, right, that they're doing all the things, the eating, the exercising, the sleeping, all the physical things.
Hmm.
I'm actually recovering from chronic Lyme disease, and I
Oh,
had like the worst fatigue. I don't think there is a worse fatigue. Like I truly don't. I know the most tired a person can feel, and I felt it for years. Okay, so I am kind of an expert on fatigue and energy. If I had only done physical things, and if I had only focused, so that would mean like the sleep and the food and things, plus the things that needed to take care of my Lyme disease.
hmm.
If I had only done those, I would still be bedridden. I couldn't have recovered. That's why I'm bringing up all of these other, what I call energy thieves, like things that literally drain energy out of your body. You cannot just focus on the physical category because if you aren't addressing any of the emotional, the mental, the relationship, you're just going to be exhausted forever.
Hmm.
And it doesn't mean the physical is not important. It is. And if we're not doing that part, we really need to like, get a coach to help us like see what's in the
Right.
way.
Right.
But we've got to address these other categories or we're just going to remain exhausted forever.
Well, we're a full package. That's what it means to be human, right? We're not just physical and we're not just emotional. We're all of them. And they are
Yes.
meant to all function and work together.
Yeah. And I think too many of us we're focused on that physical because fatigue feels physical. And so we think the problem's physical, the solution is physical.
Hmm.
And that's like maybe the biggest myth ever about fatigue.
Yeah. Such a good point. There's a lot of myths out there about everything, right? Thank you, social media, for that.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, so we know this. Clearly, we can't do it all. What things can we do in our lives, like permissions, boundaries? What do we do in order to reclaim the things that we are kind of letting seep us of our energy?
I mean, the first step is to do an energy audit, to start really paying attention,
Hmm.
like what gives me energy, not what I think should give me energy, what
Right.
actually gives me energy, because sometimes there's a mismatch there.
Okay.
And then what really depletes my energy? Again, not what I think should or shouldn't,
Hmm.
right? Because we might think that we should get energy from spending time with people we love. Maybe it's totally depleting us.
Yeah.
And if it is, then we get more curious. What specifically about this is depleting me? Is it the kind of conversation we're having? Is it the tone of voice? Is it because I'm getting triggered? Is it because there's too many people in the room? You have to get super curious about what truly gives me energy and what depletes it and start really taking responsibility for it. That's what I
Hmm.
mean by prioritizing your energy. I don't manage my time anymore, I manage my energy. Because
Gotcha.
energy is number one. If I have energy, I can get things done. I can be the mom I want to be. I can be the wife I want to be. I can be the daughter of God I want to be. I can fulfill all my divine roles and responsibilities. If I don't have energy, all of that, it just goes by the wayside because now I'm just in survival mode instead of creation mode, which is where we need to be. We are
Right.
children of the creator. He wants us to create, but you can't do that when you're exhausted.
Yeah. So it
So
is important to note there are two parts to that, right? And you said them very clearly. Notice the things that are energy creating for you and the things then that are also draining for you. Two separate things.
two separate things. And
Yep.
you have to do both. Right? It's
Yes.
offensive and defensive. You have to play defense, protect your energy, and you have to play offense and create it on purpose. Right? Some of the most important things I can do to give myself energy every week are the things that light me up. If I'm not doing any of those things because I'm just surviving, I'm going through the day-to-day grind, like just going through the motions, my energy tanks really fast. So you have to have defense and offense.
Okay, one of the things I heard you say is divine potential. Like when we have energy, we are able to kind of embrace and live in that divine space. What does that look like for somebody in their like everyday living?
Yeah, for me, I mean, because I take this seriously every single day, and I've had
Yeah,
to, right? Like a
right.
lot of us, we don't have chronic fatigue or like chronic diseases that create that level of fatigue. And I think it's actually maybe harder for those people because I was forced to start really looking like where does my energy go? Where does it come from? What can I take out of my life? And to really focus on what matters. So when I do this as part of my, that divine potential we're talking about, it's starting every day, prioritizing energy, doing like removing things from my life that deplete my energy, purposely adding in all the things that give me energy. Because when I'm there, that's when I can like really hear the spirit. Do you know how hard it is to hear the spirit when you're exhausted? Like it is a still small voice. It's like so in the background because your body is screaming for attention, your primitive brain is screaming for attention. When I create that energy and I'm really feeling good, is when I can really hear the spirit, when I can follow promptings, when I can like know what my divine mission is and then do it. Like actually be able to do it instead of just laying in bed all day long.
Yeah. Can you imagine what the world would be like if we were all intentionally trying to live in that divine space, that place where we were very intentional about managing our energy and like trying to live from divinity?
I can't even imagine the amazing things that would
Yeah,
happen
it's so
because
awesome.
so many people are just running on empty all the time.
Yeah.
Right? They're just in survival mode. In survival mode, it's just all about like putting one step in front of the other, going through the motions, living on default. You're just like truly trying to get to the next moment, but there isn't that purpose as
Yeah.
part of it. There isn't it's not infused with joy, which men are that they might have joy. We're supposed to feel joy. So I think I literally think the world would be totally different.
So you're going to have a lot of people listening right now. They're like, okay, this is all fine and dandy, Mindy, but how do I say no to these things, right? Like that is really, really hard for people.
Yeah, I think especially women in our church, because we've been taught that if you're a good, righteous woman, that you say yes when someone asks for help.
Mm-hmm.
Here is what I would love to say to you, to all of you listening who really believe that. You are a person too. You matter just as much as anybody else. You deserve to be served just as much as anybody else. You deserve to be taken care of just as much as anybody else because you matter. You are a person. You're a daughter of God, and He loves you just as much as all these other people you're serving. It is so important to take care of ourselves first, right? I mean, I know it's so cliche because we always talk about putting on your own oxygen mask first. Like that's what they tell you to do in the airplane. But it's said all the time because it's so important. If you are running on empty and still trying to take care of everyone else, you aren't taking care of them at the level that you think you are. You are
But
not.
Mindy, but Mindy, if I don't do it, nobody else will. Someone has to take care of these people.
Really, we can still take care of the people we love. We just take care of ourselves first so that we can do it better, right? Because these women, that what you're saying here is these are women who love their people and they truly, strongly desire to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, the best way to do what you want to do is to take care of yourself first. Because
But there's not enough time in the day for me to do that and all the other things. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I
Like
know,
I just
I know.
want,
My brain has said all these things too.
yeah, but people are like, well, I'm already exhausted because I'm already doing all these things for the people. So how do I prioritize me and do all those things?
Right. And that's what we get to figure out.
Yeah.
That's why I do work one-to-one with people
Yes.
for this very reason, because that answer is going to be different for every single person.
Mm-hmm.
It is a personalized plan, but you have to believe it's possible so that then we can go create the plan. I promise it's possible. My kids survived through my chronic Lyme disease. Let me tell you, I was at a level, every time I went to the doctor, he would be like, how are you even here? Like, this is after he drew all my blood. He's like looking at my labs. And he's like, I do not have a single patient with numbers like this that can even get into the office. They never leave their bed, not even to come here. Like, we have to do telecalls. How do you do it? Right? And this is what I'm talking about. We have to start taking away the things that take our energy, adding energy in on purpose. You really can do this from a level where you feel amazing. It's not about time management. I know our brains are like, I don't have enough time. We don't need more time.
Yeah.
We just need to prioritize energy in the time that we have. And I promise if you do it, you will take care of your people at a much higher level. My kids didn't die. They didn't starve to death. They were always taken care of. Even though I was like as tired as a person could ever be. And I took care of myself enough and prioritized energy enough that now, like, I'm thriving and I still technically have Lyme disease. Like, it's not out of my body yet. And I'm doing awesome because I put energy first. Because then I can take care of my kids. And then I can be the wife I want. And then I can serve in the church. I can't do any of that without energy.
Okay, this is totally unrelated, but does Lyme disease actually, it's not unrelated because you were talking about Lyme disease, but does it actually ever leave your body? You said I'm still not will you always have it or is it always?
I don't think so. I think I can get rid of it.
Okay.
But my doctor would tell me no, I'll never get rid of it.
Okay.
So I think that's a limiting belief.
Uh-huh.
I think we are capable of so much more than we as humans believe we're capable of. Even the experts, even the top expert, I still think we have limiting beliefs. So I think I can get rid of it, but it's not gone yet. And my doctor would probably tell me, no, you can't. It just goes dormant. But
I love that. I love even actually hearing you say that because you can apply that to everything in our lives. So
yeah.
I'm glad I asked that question. So how do we discern that? And I think this is kind of a tricky question because I think when we do allow ourselves to prioritize energy, we are better able to hear inspiration and listen to our inner souls that are so connected to our heavenly parents. But how can we begin to discern between true inspiration and like that cultural internal pressure to constantly like do this, right? Like I need to be doing this versus is this inspiration that I'm getting? That kind of that age old question. Is this just me just thinking this, or
Yeah.
is it the spirit telling me? How do
Yeah.
we discern?
The secret is in how you feel. When the spirit speaks to you, even if the spirit is telling you to do something quite challenging, what you're going to feel is peace, right? You're going to feel a lightness to it. It is a different feeling than coming from pressure, anxiety, guilt, fear, any of the shoulds. So anytime you think you should do something, it probably feels terrible. That's generally not the spirit speaking to you, because that is not what the spirit feels like. The spirit feels like peace.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the spirit's telling me something I don't want to do,
Yeah.
it still feels like peace.
Yeah. For me, there's like a little underlying layer of like, oh, like it kind of, I don't want to say enthusiasm, but maybe just a little bit of it doesn't, it's like the opposite of dread.
Mhm.
It's like there's a layer, there's a level of excitement, maybe like, oh, this will be fun. Like, oh, this could be interesting rather
Yeah.
than, I don't know. And it'll feel different for all of us. But for me, that's what I've come to recognize. There's a little layer of something there that is different.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, there's a little piece of certainty too to it.
Yeah.
I don't feel that like confusion
Hmm.
at all. Like there's always like a piece of certainty. Like even when it doesn't make sense at
Yeah.
all.
Like, I
I'm
don't know
like,
how I'm going to do this, but it's
right, like,
something.
are you sure? Like,
Yeah.
but it feels like I can tell you feel sure, but are you
Yeah.
sure? Because my
Yeah.
brain is like not buying it. But my body is like, yes, we're sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got to tap into your body. And again, if you have a ton of fatigue, that's hard because your top sensation, what you're noticing in your body is fatigue. And you've got to be able to scrape that away to see what else is there so you can feel the peace or the certainty or the enthusiasm. That's going to be a lot harder to notice when your fatigue is so high because what you feel in your body is tired.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, it's so important that we stop treating fatigue like it's just like this normal thing. Of course I'm tired. I'm a mom. I got all these kids. I'm running around. I'm doing all. Fatigue is not something that we need to settle for.
Well, and there's a difference between fatigue and tired, right? I mean, tired is like something that can be solved pretty quickly with a nap. But fatigue is like, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm
Yeah.
speaking wrong, but I think that there is a difference. And
There is, but even tired, I want to solve for that too. Because again,
absolutely.
it's still going to take all of these things away. But
Yeah.
yes, fatigue it's deeper, it's more chronic. It's like causing problems all the time. Even an acute moment of tired, I still want to solve for that because I still know it's going to affect me in all of these ways. And
Absolutely.
most women I just see, they're just like, well, yeah, of course I'm tired. I'm like, maybe we don't settle for that anymore. Maybe we actually choose to prioritize our energies so that we can go out in the world and do the most amazing things and be who we really are. Not who we're meant to be, like who we are. We're already those people. It's just covered up with all these layers. And fatigue can really like add on layers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really believe that, and I'm glad that you put it that way because that phrase like I'm becoming or I have potential, I'm like, no, you're already all those things. Like it's there. You were born with everything inside of you.
Yeah.
And we just get to like live life and like find all these fun surprises that are inside of us along the way. So it's much harder to do though when you're fatigued. So
It is. Everything's harder. We shouldn't just keep settling for it.
yeah, this is brilliant, Mindy. Thank you. Thank you for enlightening us today and teaching us and helping us understand something that can really, truly make a difference for us. And so thank you. Before we head off, though, I need you to share with people how they can connect with you.
I did make your people a freebie.
Oh, yay.
Super fun. You just go to mindynealcoaching.com/free. And it's just some really fun permission slips because as we talked about how hard it is to give ourselves permission to say no. So they'll be like permission to say no without explanation, permission to rest without earning it, permission to let others manage their own emotions. Right? Sometimes you just
out
need
right now.
you just need to pick up that permission slip and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have permission to let them manage their own emotions. I don't have to take this on. Sometimes we just need that like physical, visible reminder.
Mm-hmm.
So I made those.
Thank you.
I do work with women one-to-one. I add in holistic wellness into my program. So there's obviously traditional mindset coaching because that's what we do. And then I add in the, I do muscle testing so that we can really pinpoint the specific things that are draining your energy, the specific things that will help with those exact problems. And we really prioritize your energy and get it up to where you want it to be.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you. We will link to all those things in the show notes. And gosh, here's to like a less fatigued, energized life that that's possible for all of us. So thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. And we will see you again next time. Hey, we just wanted to thank you for spending part of your day here with us at Latter-day Life Coaches and being part of this conversation. Share this with your friends so that you can have a conversation with them on this topic as well. And as always, subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Have a good one, my friends.